Hello everyone, hi guys, welcome to First Lady Fashion and Style. Thank you for clicking on that channel. If this is your first time on this channel, you're very welcome. We're so excited to have you here. And the first thing you need to do is to click on that subscribe button because you won't want to miss out on any of our tutorials. And if you're a returning subscriber, thumbs up for you. Thank you so much for always checking back on this channel. Today we'll be learning how to make a bustier with a yoke, but this time around you can see that the yoke is not the straight one, it is a bit slanted, and that is exactly where today's tutorial will be based on. So here I have with me the half bodies for both the front and the back. This is the front bodies and this is the back bodies. Please, if you want to know how this draft is being constructed, just check on this same channel where we have the basic bodies pattern so that you can connect with us on this level. So I'm going to take out the back pattern and then we're going to start with the front pattern. So right now I have done the skeletal bodies from the neck here to the half length. So this here we know is the difference between the front and the back. That is the bust dart. And on this side here I went in by 1 inch because this measurement is for a plus size. For me, plus size is anything from 40, bust 40 or 38 upward. That is my own plus size. So I use 1 inch on both sides. So the next thing we're going to do here is, because this pattern here is a shoulder, we are going to tighten from the shoulder. So the first thing we need to do is to come to where we have the shoulder here and divide the shoulder here by 2. So you can see I'm going to take the measurement from the shoulder, divide it by 2 this way, and then whatever value I get, I'm going to connect it to the bust point this way. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to draw a line. Sorry, I just want this one to show. I'm going to draw a line here, and the line I'm going to draw here will determine how deep the neckline is going to be. Now from your neck, you can touch your neck where you have the front bone of your neck. That is where the 3 by 3 gets to. So you will measure from there and determine how deep you want the cleave measurement to come. So for me, I think 4 is okay. And if I measure from the top here, I will have 7. So I'm going to measure this way because I want to draw a straight, I'm going to draw a straight line. So that will be 7 this way. I hope you understand. I came down from the neckline here by 4, but because I want to draw a straight line here, I measured from the 3. I just added the 3 to it, and that's 7. So I came down here by 7. So this is where we are going to have the tightening for the upper bust. But because this draft we are making, as you can see on the thumbnail, the yoke is not a straight one. The yoke is slanty. So what I'm going to do is from this side, I'm just going to come down by 1 inch. If you want yours to go down, so from the top, from my neckline here, this is 5 to this place. This is 5 inches, and I'm going to use my ruler to curve from that 5 inches this way to where I have my, like, the mid of the shoulder, because the way the draft is like it's coming, you can see that like the yoke is coming towards the shoulder this way. So this is what I have here. So the next thing I'm going to do is on this shoulder here, because it is a shoulder that I'm going to tighten by ½ inch on both sides, and I'm going to connect the ½ inch to where I have the bust line this way. I'm going to tighten this way to the bust line. So now on this side here, where the line for the tightening from the shoulder meets with this my yoke line, because this is where I'm going to have my yoke this way, I'm going to take on both sides, I'm going to take 0.25 on both sides. So here 0.25 and on this side 0.25. So this 0.25 is what we call the tightening for the yoke. You have to tighten the yoke so that it will be firm, it will have a firm grip. So you can see what I've done. The first thing I did was to I took 0.5 on each side to the bust, and then on where the yoke meets with the body, I tightened by 0.25. So I'm going to measure what I have from here to this place now. So when I measure here, I have total of 1.5. So I will come to this place. This, you remember, this is where I'm going to cut off. This is where the shoulder armhole is. I'm going to measure out the same 1.5, and I'm going to extend it this way to where I have the 1.5 and construct a new armhole. If you don't replace it, you are going to have a shortage there. So I'm going to do this, and what I just did is to replace it, because by the time we cut it out, you know this place, we are going to cut this whole that place out. So if you cut it out, it's going to be short. So that was why I replaced it on that side. So let's go to the underbust now. So for the underbust tightening, so for the underbust, I have bust 30, I have on round underbust 35. So if I divide it by 4, I'm going to have 8.75. So I'm going to measure from the center front here to where I have my 8.75, and I'm going to measure what I have left. So what I have left is like 1.75. So I'm going to put the smaller value here, which is the 0.75 here, and I'm going to put the 1 inch on this side. So for those that have been following the class, you would understand how to take your round underbust. So you can do this. I'm going to connect it here to the bottom line. So from here, I'm going to connect it this way to where I have the bust cup. And on this side, I'm going to connect it the same way. So, yes, so I hope you can see that. So the next thing we are going to do is we'll go back to the top here. We are going to cut out the yoke now. Now, if you want your neck, if you want to adjust the neck, you want to alter it, you can alter it if you want. Like you can increase this one by ½ inch and increase this by ½ inch. That was what I did for the picture you are seeing here. So you can open it up. And on this place here, you should take 0.5. This 0.5 here is shoulder tightening, so that the shoulder will not gape by the time you cut it out. So the next thing we're going to do now is I'm going to close this bust dart. So before you close any dart, you have to open another dart. So this is it here. I'm going to close it this way. So now that I have it closed, you can see that this part is not matching. I'll just use my curve ruler to match it up, and that will be it. So next thing, I'm going to cut out this whole pattern here so that we can fix the yoke. So for this one here, I have covered the bust dart. Now, before you cut out the yoke, you have to close this dart here. This dart here, you have to close it. So now I have closed this dart here. When I close it, you can see that the line is not matching. So we are going to redraw the line for it to match. So this is it. I'm going to redraw the line because it has to match up this way. Okay. So now this is the new line. If I open it up, you can see that it is not the same with this line. So I'm going to join this together. So this is actually one of the major reasons for this tutorial, how to fix a kind of yoke like this. So this is what you're going to do. You are going to do this, and then you can now cut it out. After doing this, that's when you can now cut out. So you have to be careful because we are making use of the yoke. So you have to be careful while cutting so that you don't damage the yoke. Thank you so much for those that have been following, and I hope you've been enjoying the class so far. Please, if there is any class, if there is any tutorial you want me to make, you can send me a message and I will make out time to do that. So this is the front. You can see this is the body. So I'm going to cut out the yoke now because we have a little adjustments to make on the yoke for it to align properly. So this one, I'm going to cut it out this way. So you can see how I cut out the yoke. That's how you're going to cut out your own yoke too. Okay, no, so this is it now. So if you put it together this way, you put it together this way, you will notice there is a space. You will notice there is an opening here. So we have to fill this opening. If not, your yoke will not match with the body. So we have to fill up this opening here. So what you are going to do is you are going to bring in a paper this way, and then you are going to, let's just glue it down this way. You are going to hold it down, and you are going to redraw this line here to match. You are going to redraw this line from here to the point here this way. You can see what I'm doing for it now, for it to match, and then you will cut it out. That is all you need to do. So there is nothing like my yoke is not matching with my bodies. Now you know how to do that. For those that do not know. So now you can see, if you put it together this way, everything will match perfectly well. So that is that for the front. Let's quickly move to the back pattern. It is almost the same thing. So anytime you adjust the back, anytime you adjust the neck, please don't forget to adjust the back neck too. So for the front, we went in by ½ inch. So we are going to go in by ½ inch here and connect the ½ inch back to our 1 inch. Let's quickly do that so that we don't forget. So the next thing we'll do here is we'll also have a shoulder dart here. So from the shoulder here, we are going to mark the half of the shoulder and connect this half pattern this way. Now, okay, so the next thing we'll do is we are going to have a yoke. This person is going to have a yoke. So it depends on you. I like to match my yoke. So since I did this for the back, I like to do the same thing too for the front. So I'm just going to do this so that this part of the draft will be my yoke. I also want to have a little opening here, like a keyhole opening here. So I'm going to divide this by 2 here and then mark like 1 or ½ inch here. So I just want to have a style here just to show you, like a keyhole style this way. So by the time I cut it, this place is going to come out. So the next thing we need to do here is to tighten this yoke. Remember, this yoke is not straight, so we need to tighten the yoke because by the time we cut it out, it's going to have some adjustments too. So this is what I'm going to do for the back. For the back, I'm just going to take on this place here. I'm going to take the same thing, 0.25 on both sides, and I'm going to connect the 0.25 this way to the line, to this dart, to the dart leg here. I'm going to connect it straight to the dart leg this way now, and then I'm going to cut out. This space here is our back tightening here, so I'm going to cut the back. I'm going to cut it out so that we can make the adjustment. Now before I cut it out, anytime you draw any line to your shoulder, please remember to extend the armhole so that you will not have any shortage. So I extended the armhole by 1 inch here so that you will not have any shortage. So I'm going to cut it out now, and then we will see where we are going on. We need to fill up the yoke. So anytime you are making any kind of yoke that is not straight, you are going to do the same thing. So for the back here, for the back tightening, neck tightening, I will go in by 0.25 for the back tightening. For the front, I went in by 0.5, but for the back, I'm going to do 0.25. So I'm going to cut it out and show you the final thing to do. And then the next thing will be to put your fabric on, to put your pattern on the fabric and sew. So this place is the back, here is the back tightening. I'm going to remove it. So now this is it. So this is what we have. But for this one, if you want to sew in your dart, you just take this one and sew it in. But I like to close my darts. I like to have a dartless back. So I like to close it on the pattern so that I can see what I have. So this is it. I have closed it on the pattern this way. I'm going to hold it down. You are still going to have the same fitness. It's just that it will not show on the body. So now that that is closed, you can see that if you put it together, it's not matching. You will still have some opening here. You will have opening here, just like we have for the front. So we are going to do the same thing like you did in front. We are going to bring a paper, put it under it this way, and then try to put it together. Now this side is matching, but this side is not. There is an opening. So what we are going to do is, I'm going to do the same thing, just glue it down. And then I'll place it side by side this way. Just make sure the center line here is matching. So now I can see the part here that I need to adjust. So you can see here, this is where I need to fill up. This place. This is where I need to fill up. This place. So I'm just going to, since I've seen where I need to fill up, I'm just going to cut it out. I'm going to cut it out. So you can see this is very easy, very simple. If you follow this method, you are going to get your bustier with yoke perfectly. So you can see when I put it together, everything is matching properly now. Everything is matching properly. So all you need to do is to put this on your fabric this way, and then on this side here that is joining to this side, make sure you add your seam allowance. Make sure you add your seam allowance. On this side here, make sure you add all your necessary seam allowances. So that is for the back, and this is for the front pattern. So I hope you have learned from this class By the time you do this, your bustier is going to come out beautifully well and your yoke is going to sit properly, just like the one you are seeing. So thank you for watching, and then I'm going to show you the outcome of this style and see you in the next class. This is the final outcome of the draft we made. This is the blouse with the illusion neck. You can see it looking nice, and with a 720-degree peplum. If you want to learn how to make this 720-degree peplum, you can also check the channel. The tutorial is there and you can see it. So thank you for watching. Try and make yours. With this kind of draft, your yoke will lay flat and your top will come out beautifully well. Thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.